time for Wave 3 Listens Live on Kentuckiana's first live local TV talk show, all hosted by John Ramsey. This is Wave 3 Listens Live.
Welcome to Wave 3 Listens Live. It's the post-Super Bowl show. We hope you enjoyed watching the Super Bowl right here on Wave 3. We're going to continue that with the Super Show. Here's the lineup today. We're going to talk to the folks from Brookstone Financial. Specifically, we're talking to Seth Stewart, who is a managing partner there. And Seth is going to tell you about your retirement roadmap. It's your personal retirement roadmap. First of all, Seth, for those who are just now joining us, we've had you on for a couple of weeks now. We've talked about a number of topics. But if you would, a little overview about Brookstone.
Yeah, well, John, first of all, it's great to be back. But yeah, at Brookstone, we really focus on solving problems versus talking about products so much, because our target market, the people that we work with, I mean, first of all, John, the average age of our clients is about 55, or 55, 56, you know, somewhere in that neighborhood. They're 5 years away from retirement, or maybe they're 10 to 15, 20 years into retirement. We focus on income planning. You know, there's a lot of people in our industry that focus on the accumulation phase of life. That's when you're putting money into portfolios, trying to accumulate wealth. We use the analogy of climbing Mount Everest, and if you look at that analogy, where do most of the climbers lose their life? They lose it on the descent, because they spend all their time planning to get to the summit. And in our industry, a lot of individuals focus on accumulation. We focus on distribution. How do you effectively and efficiently take money out of your accounts, reducing the likelihood that you're going to run out of money in retirement? And that's what we do best.
Wow, that makes perfect sense, and I love your analogy. Very well said. Last week, we teased the fact that we were going to be giving away this tablet. We asked you to go on a website, download a little bit of information from Brookstone. It was absolutely free. Yep. And then in return, we're going to give away this tablet. And we'll do that, but if you would, tell them a little bit about the website that we're asking them to visit.
Yeah, John, we had a phenomenal response, first of all, but the website is Brookstone Financial, brookstonefinancial.com. You'll find a lot of information about our firm and upcoming events. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a little events button. More than welcome to click on that, find out where we're going to be in and around the community. But on the show, we talk about a lot of different topics: alternative investments, Social Security, annuities, legacy planning. So if you want more information on any of those topics of discussion, just go to the website, click the button, and you can download a free report.
All right, Seth, as I mentioned before, we've talked about a number of topics on this show with you. It's all been very interesting, educational for me. I enjoyed it. We talked about REITs, which was real estate investments.
Yes.
We talked about Social Security, and then last week we talked a little bit about annuities. A different topic today, but related to those past topics, correct?
Absolutely, John. I mean, what I want to talk about today is what we refer to as our retirement roadmap system. And it's basically, I mean, think of it this way. We take all those topics of discussion in the past, the real estate investment trusts, annuities, Social Security, put them all into a funnel, because those are decisions that as a retiree you may face at some point in the future. But the question is, how does that decision affect your unique plan or your unique probability of success? I mean, you know I'm a numbers guy. Those that watch the show know I'm a numbers guy as well. And it's difficult to analyze all the moving parts of retirement without a comprehensive system. And that's what we refer to at Brookstone as our retirement roadmap system. So it's very robust, and it gives people some peace of mind of knowing that they're on track, and helps them make solid, sound business decisions versus emotional decisions.
Okay. Interesting, though, when you say your retirement roadmap or roadmap to retirement, I think it's in a system. I think it's important for people to know that it's different for everyone, though. This isn't a one-size-fits-all. So when you say a system or a method, it is different for each individual, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, John. We have a little video clip that I'd like to show the viewers at home, just to give them an idea of actually what is the retirement roadmap and what this is likely to look like for them. First of all, we're going to take a look at the goals that they have for retirement. Spendable income, health care is another common goal. And we like to itemize those because health care inflation is probably double or triple that of the regular inflation rate. And maybe their private school or major expenses in the future. Social Security, another big moving part. We have to take that into account. So all these are data points that we're entering into our system, along with things like pensions, annuity income, maybe rental property income, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the data points that we have to account for. Now, obviously, everyone, up to this point, or when they enter retirement, they have some type of savings, IRAs, 401ks, brokerage accounts. And you may notice there on the screen, whether it's held at Brookstone Financial or maybe another local brokerage firm or a local bank even, it's not that we necessarily have to manage the money, but for us, it's about having access to that information and looking at all the moving parts so we can help clients make informed decisions. Anything you can log into, John, with a username and password, we can pull into our system. Life insurance is another big one. And a lot of folks, this is a big question, do I even need life insurance? Maybe I have too much. Maybe I don't have enough. And life insurance is a difficult subject, but it has everything to do with pensions. If you take a life-only pension option at retirement, meaning that if the owner of the pension dies, there's nothing left for the surviving spouse. Well, obviously, in that case, life insurance may be much more important to someone that took a joint life payout on their pension. So, like you said, everyone's situation is different. But that's where we start. We start by gathering all the information.
How do you really monitor if you're someone who's 55 or older, or perhaps 50 or so, retirement age, or at least looking forward to retirement? How do you monitor if you're achieving your goals? Is that a tough thing to do, Seth?
Well, it's very easy for us. The beauty of technology is that we can feed, again, all these numbers. To longhand this would be near impossible. For us, it's very simple. Some of our clients, and we'll say this though, it's kind of 50-50. Some of our clients are comfortable with logging into their accounts and having access to what we call the probability of success meter. And they enjoy it. They love it because it helps them sleep at night. Others say, hey, I'm not into the tech thing. It really doesn't. I don't want to know how to use that, but I love the fact that you guys are doing this for me, okay? So it's not that they have to understand how to use the technology. They just need to know that we use the technology on their behalf.
And then, again, that's up to the individual, because there may be some folks out there who said, show me how this works. Yep. And as you said, others like myself who go, hey, I trust you, let's let you have that ball.
Exactly. And John, one of the most well-attended events for the year for us was a training session, two-evening training session on how to use that system. So it's a complementary system. Okay, whether you're a client of Brookstone Financial or not, go to our website, go to brookstonefinancial.com, click on the retirement roadmap, and sign up. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's complimentary access. Just enter some basic information. We'll get you rolling. And it's a phenomenal system.
I like the sound of that, and you're going to like the sound of this as well. This tablet, we promised we'd give it away, and we're going to do it on this show. If you were smart enough to go to the Brookstone Financial website, check out some of the information they have, then you're already registered to win this. We'll give it away a little bit later on. And by the way, if you'd like to talk to Seth, a little bit of one-on-one here on the show, 571-5263. Seth will offer his expertise courtesy of Brookstone Financial. All right, so we're talking about your retirement roadmap. That's what the emphasis is on today, and we encourage you to give us a call. We'll talk about that in more detail. And also, as I mentioned, we're going to give away that tablet as well. We'll be right back on Wave 3 Listens. Welcome back. How about an upcoming event with Brookstone Financial? This is a unique little event. I think you'll enjoy it. Educational on a couple of levels. The antique appraisal. If you have a family heirloom, something you'd like appraised, then you can visit them. It's absolutely free. Tell us a little bit about this, Seth.
Yeah, John, there's no cost. It's complimentary, and we're treating it as an open house from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at two of our locations, one in Jeffersonville, Indiana, one out in Jasper. Bring those family heirlooms, collectibles, as you mentioned, and have a professional appraisal. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have some hors d'oeuvres and drinks on hand.
A nice way to meet the folks at Brookstone Financial and also find out, hey, what's that item worth? Everybody wonders. I love those shows when they start talking antiques and pulling them out, because you never know.
Oh, you don't. Yeah. My mother loves antiques, and she still surprises me to this day what she comes up with.
Isn't it something? I tell you what, it's amazing. Some of these people, things they would throw away worth a lot of money, and they could fit into your retirement roadmap. All right, more about the retirement roadmap real quickly. We've talked about this, and basically I think what you're saying, Seth, is that you get all this information information. You're the numbers guy. You crunch these numbers, and then you come up with some type of game plan and goals to achieve, correct?
Yeah, after we establish goals, John, then we look at all the income streams and assets that we have available to accomplish those goals. Once we accomplish that, that's typically the first appointment. Then we go into analyzing what we call what-if scenarios. And we have a little video clip, if we could pull that up. The what-if scenarios, as an example, what if inflation gets higher in the future? How will that affect my probability of success? You can see we went from 94 to 91. What if Social Security benefits are cut by 5%? That drops our probability of success. Maybe they're cut by 10%. Now we've got problems. We're in the red zone there, so we need to make some adjustments to get our clients back on course. Or what if returns are lower than expected? So you can see, John, just by simply looking at this visual indicator that we use, this helps us analyze all the data on a real-time basis. And that's really important, because in the past, I ask people all the time, tell me a little bit about your current financial plan. And sometimes they bring in a binder, something really nice, spiral bound. They got it years ago. Financial plan, put it on the shelf. I mean, things change. Financial planning is a moving target. Inflation, taxes, market volatility, just to name a few. So this system, Retirement Roadmap, allows us to keep a watchful eye on an ongoing basis.
You mentioned, Seth, that you're really not product driven, more like your answers. You want to get to the bottom line and how can we help you. So if a product comes to mind, do you have certain companies that you go with, certain recommendations?
Well, we're independent, and that's a good question. We're independent, so we have the universe of options to choose from. We're always shopping them, because obviously some are more competitive at certain times.
Those things change as well.
Those things change. That's a moving target. But as far as like answers, you mentioned answers. One of the common questions we get, and if you're sitting at home and maybe you have a pension option, election option at hand, and it's single life. Do I take single life? Do I take a 50% survivor or a 75% survivor payout? We can help you analyze that option and really put some numbers on it. So don't just make a shoot from the hip decision and maybe elect life only because it's a higher payout. It may sound good today, but where does that leave your surviving spouse if in fact something were to happen to you? So it's analyzing all those data points, all the moving parts of a financial plan, and giving some peace of mind to our clients.
How often, Seth, do you communicate with your clients at Brookstone? Because to me, you talk about moving targets, you talk about things changing. How do you communicate, and how often do you do that?
Yeah, so we have, John, we have a great team. It's one relationship team of professionals. We have a designated outbound caller by the name of Hunter Claycamp. He makes outbound calls to all of our clients on a quarterly basis to schedule appointments. It's an open invitation. Now, let me say this, though. Some of our clients say, hey, Seth, nothing has changed. We don't necessarily need to come in, but thanks for calling. People just want to know that you're there, and you're watching out for them, and that you actually care about the end result of their retirement or their financial plan. So we're very proactive in our client communications. We never want to be that firm or be that guy that says, hey, my advisor never calls me. That just shouldn't happen at Brookstone.
Interesting. I think it's also interesting that you're not product driven, and I think that's attractive to a lot of folks. So again, the call to action for you folks, if you like their style, if you like what he's saying, perhaps they've caught your ear here and go, you know what, I need to pay attention to some of these things and deal with a professional at Brookstone. First step for them, call an office, make an appointment. Let's talk about that.
Okay, first step, John, you can call the office, the 812-288-9000, or go directly to the website at brookstonefinancial.com. Click on the Retirement Roadmap, start that process. We're going to ask you a few basic questions. Enter what you're comfortable with. That's what I always tell folks, or bring what you're comfortable with. And then we'll start from there. Basically, it's a fact-finding mission, first and foremost. We have to ask a lot of questions. It's kind of like if you ask me for directions and I'm not willing to tell you where I'm at, right at that point, you can't tell me how to get where I want to go. So it's the same concept.
Interesting. All right, Brookstone Financial, they do it a little bit different. And today's topic is your retirement roadmap. Now, you may have some variables that you're dealing with right now. Maybe, perhaps you've inherited some money. As you mentioned, you might have a 401k that has now come into question. Those kind of things are things you handle.
Exactly. I had somebody ask me the other day, Seth, what if I buy the house next door, take some of my nest egg and buy the house next door, and then I rent it? How will that offset in my retirement account account for the cash flow to pay for that, but then I have the rental income coming in. What does that look like? You know, not only today, but in the future. It's little decisions like that, you know, that in the past, if they had no way to really analyze all the data, they just had to kind of make a shoot from the hip decision. So we can help them analyze those tough decisions and give them a business decision, not an emotional decision.
I know we've talked about real estate investments, we've talked about annuities, et cetera. What do you see now is that, and I know you're not product driven, but something you say might be a smart buy. I know you keep a close eye on these things to ensure for your clients that they remain that way, but right now are you looking at something specifically? I know with REITs you were talking about investing in real estate that had to do with healthcare, because that industry is hot.
I like sectors that are driven by demographics and necessity, and in particular healthcare, John, because we have 10,000 baby boomers turning 65 each and every day. So if you look for, but what is investing? Investing is simply trying to predict with a high degree of success what we think is going to happen in the future. Well, 15 years from now, we know we're going to have 10,000 baby boomers turning 80 each and every day. So I really do like real estate investments that are leaning toward the adult daycares, assisted living centers, and nursing homes. And a matter of fact, John, on next week's show, we're going to be talking about long-term care and how to protect yourself against some of those costs in the future. You know, if you have a family member or a loved one that's ever needed assisted living care or nursing home care, I mean, you know how expensive that can be, and it's not going down. I mean, the prices are going up substantially.
I want to talk a little bit about, you mentioned being a numbers guy and demographics, age of your average client, but also when you look at the numbers, how many folks who come into you are actually pretty together? You know, when I say quote unquote, have their ducks in a row for their specific roadmap to retirement.
Yeah,
how's that look?
Very few, believe it or not. I mean, very few. And if they do have a financial plan, or what they would call a financial plan, it's a static plan. It's nothing. There's no system in place to monitor all the moving parts. And the question becomes in retirement. Okay, I have the pension, I've got the 401k, the IRA, the brokerage, and the savings. Which account do I draw from first, and why? You know, where should I take my income? How do I supplement my income? And we have another little video clip here that we can show the viewers at home. We have a system, you know, again, our retirement roadmap that shows them exactly year by year just how much spendable income they would have in retirement. And here you see a spending curve we refer to. Obviously, their portfolio is growing over time, even though they're pulling the income out. But it's a year by year, play by play. This individual needed $33,000 year one. Year two, it's 34. Year three, it's 35. And the reason we inflate that number every year, John, is because you have to protect your purchasing power. We account for inflation, we account for taxes, and we can also take a snapshot year by year and tell them in that year, this is year 2021 in the future in John and Jane Doe, exactly where the income is coming from. And once you turn 70 and a half, you have to start taking money out. It's called required minimum distributions. We'll help you calculate those distributions. In advance, we'll help you calculate them. Then you look at post-retirement income, Social Security, and so on, and ultimately taxes. But, you know, again, John, it's about being able to analyze all this stuff. And I'm very passionate about what I do. I hope that comes across. But
it does.
I mean, it's amazing to me. I mean, you asked me a minute ago how many people come in with a solid, sustainable financial plan, and it's very, very few. And it's very surprising and very alarming to me.
Well, I tell you what, 100% on this one, and that's the statistic. How many people would like free lunch? We have a trivia question, courtesy of Brookstone Financial. Seth, again, I want you to do the play-by-play, and I love Buckhead because I love a frosty cold wheat soda, and they do great craft beers there.
You can't go wrong at Buckhead's, John. Yeah, great view, by the way, too. But this is a good question. I love this one. If you lost 30% in the market this year in 2015, what would you need to make in 2016 just to get back to even?
Wow, that is an interesting question. You're a numbers guy. You knew this one off the top of your head.
Yeah, it's a good one. But yeah, take a look at that.
All right, and then call the number on the screen there and let us know. Actually, there's the number, 888-800-9283. Call that number, be the first caller with the correct answer, and you'll win lunch for two. How much is that gift certificate?
$25 gift certificate to Buckhead's.
Nice. Yes. Nice freebie there, courtesy of Brookstone Financial. If you have a question, 571-5263. Seth Stewart is in the house, Brookstone Financial, and we're talking about your retirement roadmap. We'll be right back. Stewart is here from Brookstone Financial. We're talking about your roadmap to retirement or your retirement roadmap. It all changes, lots of variables. You've educated me quite a bit, and I'm encouraged. I think you should call Brookstone Financial. Not product-driven, results-driven, answers-driven, which I really, really love. Your clients, what kind of feedback do you get? Are they surprised that you're not trying to present them with all these products, get this, get that? I'm just curious.
I think they really are. That's a great question. I think they really are. A lot of folks, when they come in and see us, they have their guard up first and foremost.
Sure.
And the three questions I like to answer before they ask, who are you, what do you do, and how do you get paid? I mean, they need to understand that. In particular, the how do you get paid part. You know, when you're getting financial advice, you need to understand how the people are being paid that you're getting advice from.
So answer that one.
We wear multiple hats, John. We have an insurance license, we have a brokerage license, and we have a fee-based investment advisor license. So we operate in all capacities in the financial services world. I can tell you, though, we're seeing a big shift, a migration of clients from the commissionable world over to the fee-based world. Because when you're working with a fee-based advisor, you never have to wonder why you're getting the recommendations that you are, because their compensation, their best interest is tied directly with your best interest. So it's a true win-win. It's not transactional. It's not commissionable.
That makes perfect sense, because they then have, you know the cliche, a dog in the hunt.
They got a dog in the hunt. They have a vested interest in seeing you succeed. Yes.
All right, a number of giveaways today, courtesy of Brookstone Financial. We talked about this tablet here. If you want to give that away now, Seth, I'll let you make the call, but we encourage you to go to the website. Periodically, you'll have giveaways to encourage you to go there, but I think it's a lot of good information regardless of a free tablet or not, right, Seth?
It is. A lot of great information available on the website. We always have a lot of fun things going on at Brookstone Financial. In the upper right-hand corner of our website, you'll see the events tab. If you simply check there or click that box, you'll see many of the events that we have coming up in and around the community. And I know, John, earlier we mentioned one. There we go. There's our calendar. Mentioned one that's the antique appraisal on Thursday, February 12th and Thursday, February 19th. So it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, that antique appraisal, we ought to throw that information up on the screen for those who are visually impaired like myself. There it is, nice and big. There you can see it. And the appraisals are free, and the introductions are free, some appetizers. It'll be a nice event. I like the fact that they can actually take an heirloom and have it appraised for $0.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, what do you have to lose? So come on out to the antique appraisal. It's kind of an open house. Again, like you mentioned, we're going to have some drinks, some hors d'oeuvres, and just kind of get to know people in the community. It's going to be a fun time. Again,
Brookstone Financial, and we'll throw up again their locations. I think that's important. You make it very convenient for folks. Is it common for you to go off-site though and meet someone somewhere and say, hey, this is best for us, or does that work?
It is.
Well?
I mean, John, we make house calls from time to time. I think it's important, obviously, for our clients to understand where we're at and where we operate out of. We're in Louisville, Jeffersonville, Madison, and Jasper. But yeah, if it's more convenient for us to make a house call, we still do house calls.
All righty. We have a trivia question coming up here. $25 gift certificate to Buckhead is up for grabs. I love that place. All right. I always ask about your recommendation. You always pick restaurants that you frequent.
Yeah.
I love Buckhead as well. Like you said, the view's not bad. The food is very good. What do you recommend?
Santa Fe chicken, John. You can't go wrong with the Santa Fe chicken, smothered in cheese and onions. Boy, it's great. Yeah, and the view. You know, you can't beat the view right there at the Ohio River, the Yum Center. So it's good, great place. All
right, let's throw up that question. I think we have a winner here. There we go, and we're gonna let you give the answer, and I'll announce the winner.
All right, just to recap, you lost 30% in 2015. What would you need to make in 2016 just to break even? The answer is B, 43%. So basically, John, you lost all that momentum, that principle working for you. So you have to see, you know, a more substantial gain the following year just to get back to even.
And there's our winner, Nick Murray. Congratulations to you. Nick must be a numbers guy like you.
There you go. Yeah, he was crunching the numbers at break.
Way to go, Nick. Good job. We'll do that every week here. Again, if you like, when you pick up that gift certificate, you'll be doing that at Brookstone Financial. Thank you for participating. Okay, we talked a lot about. Obviously, it's hard in 30 minutes, impossible really, to talk about somebody's retirement roadmap in 30 minutes. Yeah. So a lot of topics we probably did not discuss. If there's anything really stark to you right now, you're going, John, I'd like to mention this when somebody's retirement. You mentioned Social Security, you know, the rising cost of health care, et cetera. Are there other items that you think, hey, this is important to discuss in our first meeting?
Well, and I think health care is one of those, and that's why I like to itemize health care expenses, because the inflation rate, the rate in which health care costs are rising is exponentially more than the price of gas and clothing and food, you know what I mean? So when you look at healthcare, it's prudent to itemize healthcare expenses. Medicare supplements, you know, when I turn 65 and I become age of eligibility for Medicare, what supplements do I need? I mean, again, we're one relationship, team of professionals. We have a Medicare supplement expert on staff, so we can answer all those tough questions for you. But another one, and we're going to talk more in detail about this next week, but just to tee that up, long-term care expenses, how to combat the likelihood that you may need some form of long-term care in the future. And as a society, John, we're living longer, so people need to really take a close look at this.
You know what I like about Brookstone Financial, and I can tell you this way, Seth, is you're making these recommendations based on real data. Yeah. This isn't a guess, this isn't a preference because of a product or someone that you deal with. This is something you're saying, I'm going to show you what works statistically. Being a numbers guy sometimes, folks, it's a good thing.
It is a good thing. I mean, you know, I get a little caught up in it sometimes, and I really have to bring things down to, you know, simplify things for clients. And, you know, again, some are more numbers driven, some like to see visuals, charts, and graphs. So everyone's different.
All right, once again, Seth Stewart, Brookstone Financial. And coming up, this tablet we've been talking about, we promised we'd give it away on this show, and we're going to do that next on Wave 3 Listens. We'll be right back. Aha, a Lenovo tablet. These are highly sought after, and it's absolutely free if you were smart enough to go to the Brookstone Financial website. Seth Stewart, I'll let you do the honor since you're the nice guy who's giving this baby away.
Yeah, John, first of all, I want to thank everyone that registered last week for the Lenovo tablet. And the winner is Belinda Wright out in Charlestown, Indiana. John, I actually live in Charlestown, so Belinda may be nearby where I live. So again, Belinda Wright out in Charlestown, Indiana, the winner of the Lenovo tablet. And Ms. Wright, you can pick that up at our office there in Jeffersonville on North Shore Drive. So.
And I know you discussed it, but a little bit of a tease. Next week we'll be talking about, we got about 20 seconds here.
We're going to be talking about long-term care. What's the best or most efficient way to address the current and future